Hey coin lovers! Welcome to the Worth Old Coins channel, your place to discover the hidden value and rare facts about old coins. In today's video we're revealing the top 3 valuable coins, and one of them might just be in your collection, so don't skip this video. Let's find out their real worth. Top 1. The 10 pence coin of 2002 belongs to the modern decimal coinage of the United Kingdom, a system first introduced on February 15, 1971, when Britain replaced its centuries-old pounds, shillings and pence structure with a decimal pound of 100 pence, and the early years after decimalization the 10 pence piece was formally called the 10 new pence, to help the public distinguish it from the pre-decimal 10 pence value of the old system. Over time the word new was officially dropped, but many collectors and long-time users still refer to the denomination by its full historic name, BY 2002. When the coin in question was struck, the currency had been decimal for over 30 years. Yet it retains strong ties to Britain's numismatic traditions and to the long reign of Queen Elizabeth II, whose portrait dominates the obverse. The obverse design of the 2002 10 pence coin carries the fourth official effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, created by the sculptor Ian Rank Broadley FRBS and first introduced on circulating UK coins in 1998. This portrait is noted for its realism and fuller depiction of the Queen's mature features, showing her facing right and wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, one of her signature jewels. Surrounding the portrait runs the Latin legend Elizabeth 2 AD Reg FID Def, an abbreviation of Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina Fidei Defensor, meaning Elizabeth II, by the grace of God Queen, Defender of the Faith. The year of issue 2002 appears below the truncation of the bust. Collectors often admire the Rank Broadley portrait for its sharp detail and the sense of dignity it lends to the small silver-colored coin. Turning to the reverse, the design introduced in 1982 by artist Christopher Ironside remained in use for the 2002 piece. It displays a majestic crowned lion passant guardant, a heraldic symbol of England used since the Middle Ages and closely associated with the royal arms. The single lion represents the strength and historic sovereignty of the English crown. Above the animal appears the word 10 pence, and below it the denomination is restated as 10 in large numerals. The artwork is encircled by a finely beaded border, giving the coin a classic and balanced appearance that harmonizes with the Queen's portrait on the obverse. Y 2002 The 10 pence coin had undergone a significant size reduction from its original 1971 specification. The first issues were large, 28.5 mm in diameter, making them heavy and inconvenient. In 1992 the Royal Mint introduced a smaller, lighter version measuring 24.5 mm across and weighing 6.5 grams, and it is this reduced size that the 2002 piece follows. The metal composition is copper-nickel, an alloy of 75% copper and 25% nickel that gives the coin a durable, silvery finish resistant to corrosion. The edge is milled reeded both for tactile recognition and as a security feature, to deter clipping or counterfeiting. The year 2002 holds special resonance in British history because it marked the Golden Jubilee of Queen Elizabeth II, 50 years on the throne since her accession in 1952. Although the standard 10 pence coins of that year were not a special commemorative design, they nonetheless belong to the broader numismatic context of the Jubilee celebrations, which saw increased public interest in collecting coins bearing the Queen's image. For many Britons, the everyday circulation of coins dated 2002 became a subtle yet constant reminder of the monarch's half-century of service. From a numismatic perspective, the 2002 10 pence coin is a regular circulation issue and was minted in large numbers to meet daily transactional needs. As such, circulated examples typically carry only face value. However, collectors often seek well-preserved uncirculated or brilliant uncirculated specimens, especially those struck in presentation sets by the Royal Mint, where sharper details and original luster showcase the Rank Broadley portrait and the lion reverse to full effect. These higher-grade pieces illustrate the quality of the Royal Mint's late 20th century striking technology and the enduring popularity of Britain's decimal coinage among hobbyists and everyday use. The coin serves as a practical middle denomination, bridging the gap between the small 5 pence and the larger 20 pence and 50 pence pieces. Its milled edge and modest weight make it easy to identify by touch, a benefit for visually impaired users and for quick handling in shops and public transport. The durability of copper-nickel ensures that even after years of circulation the intricate lion design and the Queen's portrait remain legible, often developing only a light gray toning that many collectors find attractive. Top 2. The 1992 10 pence coin stands at a pivotal moment in the story of Britain's decimal coinage. The United Kingdom had decimalized its currency in 1971, replacing the old system of pounds, shillings and pence with a pound of 100 pence. For the first 2 decades after this change, the 10 pence piece was formerly known as the 10 new pence. a title used to distinguish it from the pre-decimal 10 pence value of the old system. By 1992, the word new was already being phased out in everyday speech. Yet many collectors and ordinary Britons still used the full historic name, giving the coin a link to the earliest years of decimalization, even as the nation moved confidently into the 1990s. The 1992 issue is historically important because it introduced a new, smaller format. From 1971 through 1991, the 10 pence coin had been a large piece 28.5 millimeters in diameter and weighing 11.3 grams, about the size of the pre-decimal florin. People found it heavy and bulky, so the Royal Mint undertook a long review to make the coinage more convenient. In 1992, the 10 pence was re-engineered to a diameter of 24.5 millimeters and a weight of 6.5 grams, almost a 40% reduction in metal content. The alloy remained copper-nickel, 75% copper, 25% nickel, giving the coin a bright silvery color and excellent resistance to wear and corrosion, but the slimmer specification allowed the mint to cut production costs and the public to carry coins more comfortably. The obverse of the 1992 10 pence features the third definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, created by the sculptor Raphael Maklauf and used on UK coins from 1985 until 1997. This effigy shows the Queen facing right, wearing the George IV state diadem, an ornate diamond crown traditionally worn to and from the state opening of Parliament. Maklauf's design is noted for its elegance and a slightly idealized, timeless depiction of the monarch, intended to emphasize dignity and continuity. Around the portrait runs the Latin legend, Elizabeth II AD Reg. FAD, 1992, abbreviating Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina Fidei Defensor Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. The date 1992 appears at the bottom of the inscription, making it easy to identify this inaugural small-size issue on the reverse. The coin carries the long-established design by Christopher Ironside, first adopted in 1968 for the pre-decimal 10 pence and retained after decimalization. It depicts a single lion passant guard and a heraldic lion walking with its head turned toward the viewer and a raised forepaw crown to symbolize the English monarchy. Above the lion, the value is spelled out as 10 pence, while the number 10 sits below in bold numerals. Narrow beaded border encloses the artwork, giving the piece a balanced, classical appearance. This lion device links the coin directly to centuries of English heraldry and to the royal arms, reinforcing its role as both everyday money and a small emblem of national identity. Technically, the new size meant that older large 10 pence coins ceased to be legal tender on June 30, 1993, just months after the introduction of the reduced version. As a result, the 1992 small-size issue is the very first year of the format still valid today, and it forms an essential date for anyone assembling a complete run of modern British 10 pence pieces. The Royal Mint struck many millions for circulation, using high-speed presses at its Llantrisant facility in South Wales, and also produced a limited number in brilliant uncirculated and proof finishes for collectors. The milling on the edge fine vertical reeds serves both as a tactile aid and an anti-counterfeiting measure. The historical setting of 1992 gives the coin additional interest. It was the 40th year of Queen Elizabeth II's reign and a time of significant political change, with the United Kingdom adjusting to the post-Cold War world and deepening its economic ties to Europe through the Maastricht Treaty negotiations. Domestically, the early 1990s saw a shift toward more modern coinage and banking technology, making the downsized 10 pence emblematic of efficiency and practicality in everyday transactions. For collectors and numismatists, the 1992 10 pence occupies a special niche. Circulated examples remain common and typically carry only face value, but coins preserved in mint or proof condition showing full original luster and sharp detail on both the Maklauf portrait and the lion reverse are sought after. As the first year of the small-size series, specialists also note that the year's production bridges the terminology change from new pence to simply 10 pence, providing an intriguing study in the evolution of British coin inscriptions and public language. In daily commerce, the coin proved immediately popular. Its lighter weight and smaller diameter made it easier to carry and to use in vending machines and public telephones, which were being adapted for the new specification. The copper-nickel alloy kept its bright silvery appearance for years, and even well-circulated pieces typically retain legible legends and a clear lion motif. The combination of practicality, aesthetic appeal, and historical significance ensures that the Elizabeth II 10 new Pence coin dated 1992 remains a notable milestone in the continuing history of Britain's decimal currency summary. The 1992 Elizabeth 10 new Pence coin is the first of the reduced-size 10 pence issues, bearing the Raphael Maklauf portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, struck in copper-nickel, measuring 24.5 millimeters and weighing 6.5 g with a reeded edge. Its reverse shows the crowned lion passant guard ant, an enduring symbol of England. Though a common circulation coin, it marks a crucial transition in UK coinage and serves as a key date for collectors interested in the full story of Britain's decimal currency and the long reign of Elizabeth II. Top 3. The 1968 10 Pence coin occupies a unique and celebrated place in British numismatic history because it was one of the very first decimal coins ever released in the United Kingdom 3 years before full decimalization of the currency in 1971, at the time Britain still used the centuries-old pounds shillings pence system. But Parliament had already decided to move toward a decimal pound of 100 pence. To help the public adjust, the Royal Mint introduced 2-inch decimal trial coins in 1968. The 5 new pence and the 10 new pence, both equal in value to the pre-decimal shilling and florin respectively. This forward-looking policy meant that people could spend and accept the new coins alongside the old, learning their values before the official changeover. As a result, the 1968 issue is often described as the first true circulating decimal coin of the United Kingdom. The obverse features the second official portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, created by the sculptor Arnold Machin, OBE, and introduced that very year. It portrays the young monarch facing right, wearing the elegant girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a favorite piece from the royal collection. Around the portrait runs the Latin legend Elizabeth II DG Reg FD 1968, an abbreviation of Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina Fidei Defensor Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen. Defender of the faith, the Machin effigy is notable for its clean, graceful lines and for capturing the Queen in early adulthood, providing a striking contrast to the more mature portraits that would appear in later decades. The reverse was designed by the renowned artist Christopher Ironside, whose work became synonymous with Britain's first decimal series. Displays a single lion passant guard and a heraldic lion walking left with its head turned toward the viewer and its right forepaw raised, crowned with a royal crown. This proud creature is a classic emblem of England and echoes the royal arms used for centuries on shields, banners, and earlier coinage. Above the lion appears the value new pence to emphasize the modern decimal denomination, while the large numeral 10 sits below. Fine beaded border completes the design, giving the coin a balanced, traditional yet forward-looking appearance. Because it was meant to circulate side by side with the pre-decimal florin, which also represented 1/10 of a pound. The 1968 10 new pence retained a generous size and weight. It measures 28.5 millimeters in diameter, weighs about 11.3 grams, and is struck in copper-nickel alloy, 75% copper, 25% nickel. The bright silvery color and high nickel content provided durability and resistance to tarnish, while the broad milled reeded edge helped prevent clipping and made the coin easy to recognize by touch. These specifications remained unchanged until the coin's size reduction in 1992, making the 1968 piece the archetype of the large 10p. The historical setting of 1968 adds further interest. Britain was experiencing rapid cultural change the swinging 60s, and the government was modernizing many national institutions. Decimalization itself was part of this push for efficiency and international compatibility, aligning the pound with the straightforward 100-unit systems used by most other countries. The introduction of the 10 new pence was accompanied by public information campaigns, posters, and school lessons to teach people how the new coins related to shillings and pounds. Shoppers quickly discovered that the new 10p could be used exactly like the 2-shilling florin, easing the transition and building confidence in the forthcoming decimal system. From a numismatic perspective, the 1968 issue is both historic and accessible. The Royal Mint struck it in large numbers, tens of millions for everyday circulation. So-worn examples remain common and inexpensive today. Nevertheless, collectors prize coins in uncirculated or proof condition, where the sharp detail of the Machin portrait and Ironside lion can be appreciated in full. Proof sets issued in 1968, intended to familiarize the public and collectors with the upcoming decimal coinage, are especially sought after because they mark the very beginning of Britain's decimal in everyday commerce. The coin quickly proved its worth. Its substantial size gave it a satisfying weight and presence in the hand, and its milled edge allowed people to distinguish it by touch from the similarly colored but slightly smaller florin. Over decades of circulation, the durable copper-nickel alloy develops only a soft gray patina, and even well-used specimens typically retain legible legends and the unmistakable crowned lion. For many Britons who lived through the transition, the 1968 10 new pence remains a tangible reminder of a moment when old and new monetary worlds overlapped. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe my channel for more videos.